Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Bumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Wednesday. And that's right, you guys already know the vibes. We're halfway through the week. It's hump day, but we got to talk Monday Night Raw. And the only time I can do that is on Wednesdays because that's when we keep it raw with the Raw Deal with Howse and O'Neal, brought to you by In Your House. And it can't be Howse and O'Neal with just Howse. We got to have O'Neal, and that's just a perfect cue to bring in my co-host here for this show. That is divinely designed, Annie O'Neal. What's up, Annie?
What's up, Con? It feels it's been forever since I've seen you. You know? Let's get back to doing what we do best, and that's entertain the masses. Here we are, here to talk some wrestling on some Monday Night Raw. I can't believe it's already Money in the Bank. Like,
I know.
it's creeping up on us like Pink Panther. Oh, holy
For
crap!
sure.
Like, ugh. Just where is time going? It's kind of sick how quickly it's flowing.
Yeah.
How are you feeling days before Money in the Bank? How are you
You
feeling
know,
about this?
Money in the Bank coming up, and quick note, Money in the Bank is one of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
PLEs. I mean, if anybody who knows me knows, my favorite one is Royal Rumble. I finally got to go to my first Royal Rumble this past year. That was great. I've already been to
Huge.
a Money in the
Mm-hmm.
Bank in Columbus,
Okay.
Ohio a
Yeah.
few years ago. But I love it. I love the chaos that comes anytime Money in the Bank season comes around. A whole lot of outliers, a whole lot of who could be the next briefcase holder, who could be the next
Mm-hmm.
world champion, next women's world champion. That's what I like about Money in the Bank season. Plus, I love myself a good ladder match, and now we're going to get two multi talent ladder matches this coming Saturday for Money in the Bank. But yeah, I'm always excited for Money in the Bank. I've got a jam-packed weekend of programming this weekend. I've got Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank on Saturday, and then I got the Pacers playoffs on Sunday night in the finals. So that's going to be great. But yeah, I'm always excited anytime Money in the Bank comes around because you never really know what's going to happen. It's one of those type of PLEs.
And this year's Money in the Bank, there's so many different factors weighing in. Like so many different people, especially the women's Money in the Bank. Like it makes so much sense for any of these competitors to win or to really like show up and you know really be out there with the claim that they need to stake. It's really really heating up, and I'm really excited.
Yeah,
Really
yeah, no.
excited.
I,
Do you
I'm
think
excited too. I'm sorry. What was
Mhm.
you saying?
do you think I mean, both are pretty heavily storyline weighted, so
They really are, especially the men's one, which is really leading me to believe
Mhm.
something could happen. We're going to talk about it because
Mhm.
on this episode of The Raw Deal, you don't just get mine, but you also get Annie's Money in the Bank predictions. That's going to come on the other side of this show. But before we get too deep into talking Monday Night Raw, I got to acknowledge the chat because we got our man OG Tony's coming in. He's
What's
saying,
up,
hello, guys.
Tony?
What's up, OG Tony? Then we got Bryce York coming in saying, I hope I'm not late. You're not
Right
late.
on
We're
time.
just getting
Right
started.
on
You are
time.
right on time, brother. And he goes on to say, Annie, that Naomi is winning the ladies' ladder match.
I
Ooh,
I
we'll
don't
talk.
know.
We're
I
gonna talk
thought
about
so.
it.
Oh man. Okay. All right. I won't get there. I won't
Yep,
get
yep.
there
Well,
yet.
once we get to the
Well.
predictions,
Okay.
it's the floor is yours. We're most definitely gonna get
Okay.
there. And OG Tony, I too am excited. So yeah, most definitely. And I'm so excited that we get a chance to talk about it here on the Raw Deal with Howse and O'Neal. Annie, it has been a last few weeks in wrestling. We've seen a shift that's going on, where we're seeing Sami Zayn, CM Punk. They're kind of in alignment right now, and it's just a thing where it's like the faces are coming and teaming up to try to stop the evil forces that is Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, led by Paul Heyman, whatever this dangerous alliance
Mm-hmm.
be. But not only are we seeing that, we're seeing so many qualifiers happening right now where we're seeing participants in Money in the Bank. I feel like, especially on the women's side, we're going to see a lot of first time Money in the Bank participants, as Stephanie Vicker, who is now a member of the Monday Night Raw roster, by the way, defeated Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile in a triple threat match to qualify for the Money in the Bank briefcase. You had Lyra Valkyria. She brawled it out with Becky Lynch, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn. Defeated Breaker and Bronson Reed, but that was by disqualification. We have El Grande Americano, who defeated CM Punk and AJ Styles in a triple threat match. Who would have thunk it to qualify for
I
Money in
didn't.
the Bank?
I didn't at all.
Exactly. Now we've got that going on. So let me ask you, with everything going on, everything that you saw on Monday Night Raw this past Monday, what stood out to you? What were some high points of Monday Night Raw that kind of sparked your interest?
I'm still on the conspiracy theory of not trusting Sami Zayn. I don't know why. It's just what my intuition tells me. Just everything that Sammy was saying to Punk. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about Rollins and the rest of his group. He was just worry about the task at hand, because like when someone tells me that, like, what are they doing behind my back that I'm not seeing? I don't know. Maybe I just don't trust people. That's fair. But any like I feel like Punk has had this reoccurring theme of taking his eye off the prize and not engaging when he needs to the most. But this, and it's like the 999th time out of 1,000, that time that you should deviate from that pattern and just stick to what you have been doing. You might regret it. So I don't know. I don't trust Sami Zayn. Ooh, the little what felt like a standoff between Roxanne and Liv before Liv's match.
Hmm.
It just felt like Roxanne Perez really felt like that Omen to me, like that the candy that you eat with the candy coated shell, and it just tastes so delicious, but after so many times of consuming it, it just becomes this non cavity that you just can't avoid.
Yeah.
And I feel like Liv Morgan, she better have her eyes wide open instead of the watch me. It's going to be watch everyone else.
Uh, and this is the change that we've seen in Liv Morgan, where
Hmm.
Liv Morgan has went from seemingly the underdog to one of the odds-on favorites because
Mhm.
of the shift that she's had in her career. It's been a
Mhm.
massive shift. She just came off doing a movie. She came off a world title run. She's come off one of the best storylines in years. I mean, the feud with her and Rhea Ripley is going to go down as one of the greatest feuds of all time.
I agree. I
You
agree.
know, so I see exactly what you're saying. I want to go back to Sami Zayn real quick because I have a
Mhm.
question for you as far as the
Mhm.
Sami Zayn situation. Do you think Sammy is going to turn and stand on his own, or do you think Sammy is the secret other member of this Paul Heyman faction? Where are you at with that?
I think Sami Zayn, I think he needs he needs something to give him substantial backing. I feel like he's in a time where he's just clinging for a spot in in the storylines, and I think that would be really something interesting to give Sammy a whole new light. So I think, yeah, I think he might be in but see, it could go either way, but if he stands on his own, I don't think there is enough attention that he needs to be solidified as a viable threat on his own. Like, if Seth Rollins didn't have what he has now surrounding him, I would still label him as a viable threat over Sami Zayn. So I think he needs to be in the protection of a group. And I think he's a rat. Just
He was with the
I
bloodline.
Yeah. So I feel like it's going to be a reoccurring thing of the past, and I think it's going to be the case here.
That's my thing. Like, if he turned, I would need to see the benefit of him turning on his own. Why would he
Mhm.
do that? That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. If he turned, I see why it would make sense where he'd be like, "Oh, I've been in Rollins' pocket this whole time." Ha ha ha
Mhm.
ha ha.
Mhm.
To me that makes sense. But if he did it on his own, I'd be just a little confused. I guess
Sure.
I'm gonna go to the comments here because we got a lot of thoughts and a lot of comments here. Kevin Calloway saying Sammy looked most suspicious to me during Punk's opening promo. Then we have
Mhm.
Bryce York. He brought in his thoughts. He said Jay Uso was stretched too thin. Feels like none of this is good for him to beat Gunter after. So we'll see what happens. I don't think he's going to lose to Gunther so soon. I know that's coming up on
Yeah, I
Monday.
agree. Mhm.
Kevin says if Sammy turns, it makes more sense for him to be on his own, in his opinion. Then Bryce
Sure.
York says, I thought Sammy was in the faction up until Bronson joined. Then Kevin, the chat's going crazy right now, so we're
Fair.
going to get your thoughts on everything going on there. Kevin says he'd be an awkward add to Rollins, especially given his motivations. And then Bryce York says, like honorary Oos, Sammy basically again, please no. So he
Well, you don't
doesn't
want
want to
more of
see
the
that.
past?
Yeah, I guess he doesn't want more of the past. Here's my thing, like where
Yeah.
I see, like, I know exactly what I just said. I just
Mhm.
said if he turned on his own, I wouldn't understand it very much, and it would make more sense for him to be, protected by a faction. Like you said, I'm still
Mhm.
in that realm, but like this all goes back to this. If he turned, and they're keep trying to keep continuity, they're trying to keep
Mhm.
continuity.
Sure.
If he turned, he would have to be on his own because I want to harken back to the very like infancy, the real infancy of this Rollins faction when
Mhm.
Heyman tried to offer Sami Zayn to he had negotiated a deal to have
Mhm.
Sami leave Raw, go to SmackDown, and then he would be able to fight for the undisputed championship against at that time either
Mhm.
John Cena or Randy Orton because this was shortly before Backlash.
Mhm. Right. I
So
remember. Mhm.
so I'm like, if he joined them, if he joined that faction, why wouldn't he have just taken the deal in the very beginning? That's my thoughts.
Do you think, if had he taken that deal, do you think that would have meant he was aligned with Paul
I don't
Heyman? And or just taking a deal as it is.
If his end game was to because here's the thing, Sami Zayn has always said I will be a world heavyweight champion, and then if he were to join the Rollins faction,
Hmm.
knowing that Rollins' goal is to take the world championship, then guess what? Sammy wouldn't be able to be a world champion.
Hmm.
So to me, if he was going to, do the underhanded or whatever evil thing to do, not Sami Zayn thing to do, he would have just
Hmm.
taken the deal in the first place, went to SmackDown. He would have been on
Hmm.
SmackDown and fought. By now, he would have fought for that title by now and probably won or lost, or more likely lost, I'd say.
Hmm.
Uh, but then see him in the mix on SmackDown doing some different stuff. I don't know. The Sami Zayn situation is strange because like he was gone. He was gone
Hmm.
after what was it? Elimination Chamber. Yeah, Elimination
Right.
Chamber when he had that match with Kevin Owens. Then he came back and now he's been back weekly and wrestling and doing his thing. But to me, and I speak as a Sami Zayn fan,
Hmm.
Sami Zayn doesn't really feel like thoroughly locked into the storylines for me right now. Like I feel like he's just kind of there, but it's like I don't understand what his, because he was trying to be the whole CM Punk cheerleader at the on that
Right.
segment or whatever. But I'm like, what? So essentially, it seems like we're doing another bloodline thing again, where it's like, oh, we have to protect the title and the show from the evil huge faction. I don't
And
know with
do you
Sammy
feel
right
like
now. It
that?
feels weird.
Do you think that is something written so Sammy can be included in a storyline, or do you think it is something that is just like borrowing from the past, and it's just something that it's formulaic and it's a pattern that works?
I
Because
think it's that.
you're right. I feel like Sami Zayn and how he is associated, it feels very disjointed. It doesn't feel
Like,
natural.
and here's the thing: as much as I love this, I love this new faction with Rollins and Heyman and Bronson and
Hmm.
Breaker. Don't get me wrong, it's dope, and I understand the point of it, and I think it's going to benefit, especially Breaker and Bronson Reed in the grand scheme
Hmm.
of things. But this is basically, I mean, let's call it for what it is. This is basically take out, Bloodline and insert this faction. It's the
Hmm.
same concept, basically.
Right, with just different players in the arrangement.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, what sets you apart from what that
And,
was? You know what I'm
and
saying?
also, just because it worked in the past doesn't mean it's going to be substantial in the circumstance. Because, like, you see it, I see it, and I know formulas are proven, but just different iterations of it doesn't always work.
Right.
And
Right.
and
That's my point.
does does this how does this make you feel as we approach Money in the Bank?
I mean, it all ties into what we're going to talk about a
Mhm.
little bit later in the show, as
Mhm.
far as what I think could happen at the Money in the Bank match. But uh, I here's the thing: it's all angling toward. I'll stop beating around the bush about that. I think it's all angling towards Seth Rollins getting the briefcase, because the thing is, they want to tell this story of, oh well, he's gonna get the briefcase and he's gonna
Mhm.
cash in whenever he wants, and he'd be able to take the title and save WWE in his own
Mhm.
twisted mind, because you can't tell a heel that his intentions are wrong. Those are his intentions. We just
Right.
don't like them,
Mhm.
So in his
Exactly.
mind, he's saving WWE by taking the title. And it's a easy story, easy to digest. You have the big evil faction here with the badasses protecting Seth Rollins, and the mastermind there with Heyman.
Mhm.
Pretty easy digestible stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
it's once again, it's basically the bloodline. That's
Right.
basically what it is. But I just don't know how I feel about Seth having that type of upper hand Like, oh, we just give him the briefcase and now he can cash in anytime he wants to. When I think that, I mean, as much as we want to keep that story going, and hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully somebody just ends up, maybe CM Punk or somebody comes out
Mhm.
or whatever and screws him out of it.
Yeah.
I honestly think there's a benefit, a lot of better stories that you can tell if Solo Sikoa were Mr. Money in the Bank, or even if LA Knight were Mr. Money in the Bank, or if you went ahead and made Andrade Mr. Money in the Bank. I think there's a lot of options right now. Rollins can get to that title without
Right. And
having
it
to be Money in the Bank.
exactly. And that was going to be the point that I was going to make. Um because I mean, it would just seem so predictable. And but like current to the WWE product that we've been given in the last 6 months, they've been known to pivot.
Yeah.
Just because it seems the writing might be on the wall, might we might actually not go that way at all.
So,
Yeah.
I something's been going on in my head. The wheels have been turning about a certain thing, and I haven't verbalized it. I haven't said it. Like I've thought it, but I haven't said it. And this will be the first time that it's actually came out of my
Mhm.
mouth.
Say it.
I seriously think right now WWE is playing it safe. I think they've put the safety net back on. I think that WrestleMania season is not here anymore. It's about to be the summertime where we got Money in the Bank, and yeah, that's exciting, but it's not quite SummerSlam. So we got to keep things hot for SummerSlam.
Oh,
I
you
just
know
feel
what? We're
like
in a new quarter. We are.
yeah, I just feel like they put the safety net back on and they're playing it safe.
Got to make the investors happy.
Yeah, yeah. Like we're not doing anything that's like they're not reinventing the wheel in any
Mhm.
way. Like even with Saturday Night Main Event during the main event
Mhm.
when or when Jey Uso was going up against Logan Paul, and then here comes John Cena, and oh no, Jey Uso, who's gonna help
Mhm.
him? Oh well, there's Cody Rhodes returning. Like I could have told you that was gonna happen like minute or two before it
Mhm.
happened. It's not it was the perfect opportunity for Cody Rhodes to come back. So it's like,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or anything like that. I'm just saying it's predictable. We're getting into that time in WWE where it's like, hey, safety net's back on. We're good. We'll do all the crazy shit, closer to, as we approach August. Then we'll probably do something cool for Survivor Series or whatever. But
Mhm.
hey, it's not WrestleMania season anymore. We don't got to wow them. We just got to get week to week to week.
Does ratings on Netflix even matter? Do those hold any weight on the weekly showings?
I
It's hard to tell
mean,
because it is a streaming service. It's
yeah,
not on
yeah,
cable. They're not filling a
I don't
3-hour
know if that
obligation.
matters. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if that matters anymore. I just think if they're making their money, that's what they're looking for.
Right. Right.
That's exactly what they want. But I want to jump to the
Yeah.
chat real quick once again because we got Bryce York. He's saying El Grande in the bank. What if? What if
That'd
El
be
Grande
really
Americana?
fun.
That'd be
I
insane.
I
I wouldn't hate it.
I mean, I feel like El Grande Americano has this window of time before it seals shut. So Money in the Bank would be a really good opportunity to capitalize. I mean, there's a certain level of controversy, and I think it could break that belief that you're having that WWE is starting to have a do the safe thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
hey, that would not be safe at all, and I'd be here
yeah,
for it. Continuing the chats here, Kevin says Rollins screwing over Punk solidified him as not winning in my book unless there is a turn. And he goes on to say, but that leaves a big hole of who wins now. And we're most definitely going to discuss that, Kevin, because
mm-hmm.
I think that's a good
It's a really good
conversation
point.
Yeah, it's a good point and it's a good conversation to have. But I want to slide real quick over to what's going down on the women's side of things because we talked about Stephanie Vicor and she defeated Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile in a triple threat match to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank match. So you had a thought. And I am looking at this women's Money in the Bank ladder match, the participants right now. And I'm going to say the participants. That's Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vicor. And to my knowledge, there's at least one, two, three, maybe four, but I know for sure three first time Money in the Bank participants, and it was a quick call up for
Mm-hmm.
these three
All of
ladies.
them. All
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like within the same month, I want to say. I feel like it's way sooner than that.
It's been
Actually,
so soon.
it really has. I mean, it was only okay. Roxanne and Julia, they went up pretty much around the same time.
Yeah, because they came
And
up
then
together
yep.
as a duo
And
until they
then
split.
last night was the first time I think I saw Stephanie Vicaire as officially a part of the Raw stir. Okay, that was really bad. That was really bad. It low hanging fruit. Low hanging fruit. I had it was that was stupid. And
Right there.
I sitting in self loathing for a little bit, but that's okay. We're over it. um but you know what? Like just the heart and the distance that we saw in the video package for Stephanie Vicaire like made me really believe that she's going to be a runner
Yeah.
in the women's match. Really, really, really is. She got a really nice spotlight on her last night, and she went over on
She
someone
really did.
like I mean, Ivy Nile. I think she was just present to take the pin.
That a
Much
hundred
love and
percent.
respect. Much love and respect.
100%.
She's an
Yep.
incredible athlete. Not undermining that at all. But she went over on Liv Morgan. Like that's pretty
Big.
bold. Like, and you know what? I feel like Liv Morgan, she has enough stake in the locker room now. Like, she has a decision. Or at least she has power in deciding. Like, okay, who's getting that push? And I think like, yeah, I think if not Roxanne Perez, it's gonna be Stephanie Vicaire.
Man, I love the sisterhood. The sisterhood is real in the locker rooms right
Really
now.
is.
It's a
Really is.
it's a beautiful thing. It is such a beautiful thing, man. Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's Money in the Bank season. Anything can happen. That's one of the coolest things about Money in the Bank. There is no favorite. Like, oh, you could say if you're talking about the Royal Rumble, you could say,
Mm-hmm.
oh well, Roman Reigns is a favorite to win, or
Mm-hmm.
John Cena's a favorite to win, or CM Punk's a favorite to win. You could say that in like a Royal Rumble, but
Mm-hmm.
with the chaos and the uncertainty and everything that goes around Money in the Bank, you can't
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, this is my favorite to win." It's complete chaos around. You just got to see what
Mm-hmm.
happens, and I think that's a key thing when it comes to Money in the Bank. We're definitely going to get these predictions in for sure here in about a minute. But I got to ask you real quick
Mm-hmm.
because I want to take your temperature and see where you're at with Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. Just get some of your thoughts on that. Where are you at with that feud right now?
This was been the best iteration of Lyra Valkyria that I've seen yet. You know, sometimes when the crowd starts with that what crap, it
Yeah.
either is a moment where you are made or you're broken.
Mm-hmm.
And she owned it. She controlled that moment. Um and you know what? Like I really feel like this is a moment where we're seeing Becky Lynch kind of like withholding, withdrawing like the space that she takes so someone else can step up. So it really feels like this is the part where Becky Lynch starts to take a back seat, so someone else can get that light, the light
Yeah,
that she once had.
yeah,
I see what's at work, but it's not something that has my immediate attention.
sure, sure. Very much
It's
mid card, right?
it yes, yes. And I think Becky didn't win it the first time, but I think she's going to take it at Money in the Bank.
I thought for sure she was going to take it at the last event
Mhm. Yeah.
that they went at it for sure, but it didn't happen. So yeah, it's a strong possibility for sure.
And also,
Um,
do you think who needs the belt more? Who needs to hold the weight of that more? And what would a win over Becky for a second time do for
I
Lyra?
think I think it's good. I think it's good for her if
Mhm.
she beats Becky and retains the title. I think if Becky beats Lyra and becomes the Intercontinental Champion, I think it's good for the belt.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Sure. That makes 100%
You put
complete
the
sense.
Intercontinental title on somebody like Becky Lynch, a multi-time women's champion, a former WrestleMania main eventer, and you
Mhm.
want these type. This. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum with the women's United States champion right
Mhm.
now, who is Zelina Vega, which loves Selena. Like Selena Vega's great. Don't get me wrong, but she's not over. She's not interesting right now. I think that they might have taken the title off of Chelsea because I know she's. I think she has a broken. She's been wearing a mask on SmackDown. I know we talk
Mhm.
Raw. I know we talk Raw, but I also talk SmackDown on
Yeah,
Sundays.
absolutely. Same
So
universe.
so she's had this mask on. So I don't know if they're taking the title off of
Mhm.
her to give it back. But I've said on the show I think
Mhm.
that the Zelina Vega experiment isn't working. But I feel differently about the women's Intercontinental Championship
Mhm.
title. I think it's in a good position to where
I agree.
if it stays with Lyra, it's still in good standing. If it goes to Becky, it's still in good standing. I think right now the IC title is in a good spot, and I
Mhm.
think whoever wins it, it's still going to be fine. It's going to be in a good
Sure.
position.
Yeah, I don't think Lyra necessarily loses anything if she loses the belt because Kevin really does bring up a good point in the chat. Shout out to Kevin. He's been point for point for point. Um, but yeah, it just depends on the direction that they want to go in.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about direction. Kevin says Lyra has more business and a loss here. Not a clean loss, but a loss. And he goes on to say that Lyra has truly stepped up in this feud and let loose. I 100% agree with you. I think we're seeing some of the best version or the better version of Lyra
Hmm.
Valkyria. I remember months ago on this very podcast, this very show, my co-host right here, Annie O'Neal, was saying she had said that Lyra Valkyria, she's all right, but she's too clean, too perfect, too
Hmm.
much of a like it's just too perfect. I think now that the time has gone on, we're seeing a grittier Lyra
Yes.
Valkyria. We're seeing a more snapback Lyra Valkyria.
Right.
And here's the thing: nobody could ever make me hate my bird lady. I love Lyra Valkyria, and I'm loving seeing the character development in her as well.
And you know what? Like people identify with anger. Look at the state of the world right now. So many humans are angry, and we're
Hmm.
a lot of humans, they are tired of being backed into a corner. So what are you going to do? What is a natural human response? You are going to swing. And if someone gets too close, you are going to claw their eyes out.
Hmm.
And I love this version of Lyra.
That's see right that right there. What you just said right there. That's the beauty of wrestling. Where
Mhm.
4 or 5 months ago you could say, she's not really doing it for me." And now
Mhm.
here we are months later, and you're saying, "I love this version of Lyra Valkyria." That's it. That's it right there. That's what it's all about, is to see that development. In my mind, Lyra Valkyria is inching her way towards being a future
Hmm.
women's world heavyweight champion in the WWE. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that because, like I thought, I don't think it's bad, but
Hmm.
it's very much mid card, which it's for a
Hmm.
mid card championship. So like
Right.
that's right where it needs to be at. That's
But
good. That's
you know
fine.
what? I think the long term plan for Lyra is that she is going to be one of the women at the top one day. But
I
she has
agree.
to, like, she can't just be inserted there. No way.
No,
She has to climb the mountain every week. She
I
has to
agree.
be made credible,
Yep.
you know, like some she has to, launch herself into the deep end and see if she can swim back. At
Yeah.
least that, like, I need that proof. Because you know what?
Honestly,
I'm not pigeonholing Lyra into one place. I want to see that growth.
yep.
Go ahead.
I was just saying I would like to see I would like to see this feud with her and Becky maybe culminate into some sort of, maybe some sort of extreme rules hardcore match where
Mhm.
we can see another side of Lyra, like see Lyra go to the extreme, something that we is she like a clean wrestler, able to fly, take you to the mat, do all that stuff. That's great. I love the fluidity of Lyra Valkyria in the ring. But can she get gritty with it? Can she get hardcore?
Yeah.
Can she bring out a
Well, she
kendo stick, a chair? Let's see how filthy you're willing to get.
and you know what she embodies a Valkyrie. Valkyries are not afraid to zero in and go for the kill.
Right,
So
right,
are
right.
you are you just someone who picks something cool for their name, like, ooh, Valkyria, that sounds cool. What are you going to be it? Are you going to
Or you're
show it?
gonna be that. Yep.
I want to see her wield a kendo stick, and I want to see it. Like,
This one
that's
right here from OG
yeah,
Tony.
that's a really
Last women
yeah.
standing. Yes,
I
that's the
like it.
one right there.
Okay,
Thank you, Tony.
just want to say
Perfect.
it was booked here on the Raw deal.
Exactly. I
Yes,
love it.
saw,
That's
saw here first.
perfection.
Absolutely,
Perfection. A
love it.
last woman standing match would be great. That would be awesome. But yeah, we're gonna keep this going here because it's already been a really great episode. I've enjoyed this one for sure. We've talked Monday Night Raw. We've talked so much things as far as Money in the Bank, and that's just an easy spot for us to continue to talk Money in the Bank because Annie, it is time. It's time for us to get your, mine, our
Hmm.
predictions for Money in the Bank. And we're going to start easy here, okay?
Already
We're going to
got two.
start easy here. We only got four
Yeah,
matches here. Only got four. So we're going
crazy.
to,
Only 4 matches for Money in the Bank.
it's only
What?
four. Just four.
Oh,
Unless they add something last minute, it's only four.
oh, SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights. Gotcha, gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha, gotcha. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So okay, we'll start right where we was talking about with
All right.
with
Let's
the
go.
women's intercontinental championship match. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Lynch is getting a rematch after coming up short against Valkyria at Backlash, and it looks like Lynch is struggling to accept that Valkyria holds the edge in their meetings. Who do you think is going to win in this match? Lyra Valkyria, the champion, or Becky Lynch?
I'm gonna go with Becky. I'm
Ooh,
gonna go with
okay,
Becky. Yep.
okay. I very 50-50 with this one, but for the sake of just keeping things, a little bit, a little sport, a little competition here, I'm going to say Lyra. I think Lyra will retain,
Okay.
and that'll. I think that Becky's going to have some questions that she's going to have to ask herself after this match is over, for sure. I just feel like that the rise of Lyra Valkyria is here. If there were to be a Becky Lynch win, I agree that what Kevin said, that it would be some sort of dirty win. But
Hmm.
also, I'm not completely out
Hmm.
on the idea that Bailey might return and maybe
Sure.
screw over Becky Lynch as well.
And you know
So
what? I feel like it's borrowing from the old adage, like, face is stronger on the chase, and a heel is stronger when they have that a belt. So
Yeah,
who knows? This
it's
seems
gonna
pretty
be tough.
formulaic, but
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see with that one. But I wanted. I think that one was kind of an easy one to
hmm
answer.
hmm
I'm saving the Money in the Bank matches for last, which means
oh
obviously the next
man,
one I'm gonna ask you: Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. Who do you got?
oh, it's gonna be Cena and Paul.
Cena and Paul.
Hate it. Yep, that's what I don't want to see it, but
I think it's gonna be. I too think it's gonna be Paul and Cena. I think it's more beneficial for them to get the win than the baby faces at this point, at least. I
Mhm.
do think we're gonna eventually see John Cena versus Cody Rhodes again, possibly at
I agree.
SummerSlam. But
I
for
agree.
now, I think Cena and Logan Paul stand tall.
I think he has like 23 matches left. I think that's what the number was.
Appearances. I don't even know if that's matches.
Appearances,
I think it's
yeah,
just
appearances.
appearances.
Yep, doesn't have to be matches. Yep,
Yeah, he made that perfectly
yep.
clear.
All right,
Uh, but
give me the
yeah,
next one coming.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think it'll be Cena and Paul. Now we're gonna get now. All right, the difficulty's going up now because now it's time to get to the Money in the Bank matches. Here we talked about this one, and we talked about the entry of so many fresh faces
hmm
in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, Stephanie, Vicor. This is for the Money in the Bank briefcase in a ladder match.
hmm
Who do you think's winning?
Gonna go with Stephanie Vicker. Gonna
Oh,
do it.
okay. I
Yep,
know you said it earlier,
yep.
but yeah, you're in there.
I think she has a rocket ship attached to her back, and she's gonna go deep into the depths of outer space.
I could see that. I could most definitely see
I
that.
Yep.
But
She. Mhm.
for me, I just feel like Naomi. I just the
Yeah.
trajectory that Naomi's been on has been absolutely insane. When I think about that, I'm still highly entertained
See,
by the fact.
that's
Oh,
the
go ahead. Go ahead.
predictable one to me,
Too
and that's why I don't
predictable.
think. Yeah, that's why I don't think it's gonna be Naomi.
I could see a reality where she's almost there, she gets
hmm
to it, and then Jade shows up out of nowhere and screws her.
And I think that's why she has an out. I think
Oh
I
yeah,
think
most
what
definitely.
they I think that why I think that's why they I don't think she's gonna win it. I think she has more business in not winning it.
Oh, for sure, she does. I
I
don't, but
think
I
she'll
just think about for me, I'm just thinking about Naomi's like the time frame that she's put on herself
because
because
it could be the fact that she needs it the most as well.
sure. I'm just thinking like she said in interviews and stuff that she's like I'm
hmm
only going to be wrestling for maybe like 2 more years.
That's it.
Yeah, like we don't got a whole lot more time left with Naomi. She's wanting to start a family.
Yeah,
Jimmy has kids, but she
yeah,
doesn't have any children. So I think
sure.
she wants to start having children with Jimmy, if that's what I'm understanding correctly. But she has went on interviews and said, yeah, she's probably only got about 2 years left.
Because how long has Naomi been in WWE? A very long
Oh,
time.
oh my
15
gosh,
years.
she's been there for a long
15
time.
years.
I
Damn.
remember she started out as
Yeah.
a funkadactyl.
Yes. Oh God.
Yeah, yeah,
I
we're
thank
talking
you
we're
for taking
talking
me
that
back.
stuff.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you.
But
Oh,
she's had an interesting career path,
she has.
though. I mean, like, it was nasty work on SmackDown when she was because SmackDown was in Knoxville, Tennessee, and even though Bianca Belair is on injury, they had her there because that's her hometown,
hmm
and she cut a promo, and out comes Naomi, and she's like, "Oh, you didn't tell me that you was coming into town, so I went over to your parents' house, and you weren't there, and they weren't there, so I just let myself in." She broke into Bianca Belair's parents' house. Like Naomi is on different levels of crazy right now, and I'm loving it.
Unhinged.
Like, yeah, most definitely unhinged. And I don't know, it just makes me think like I could definitely see like if you ask me a backup, I would probably say Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
That'd be a backup, but like I just think Naomi because I think about the work that she's doing right now, how on fire she is, and then the time frame that's like, hey, she's probably only got one. If you're only going to be there for 2 years, and if you get the title and it's a lengthy
Mhm.
title reign, you probably only got one reign left in you.
The only reason I didn't say Roxanne Perez is because she seems like she's in head deep in Judgment Day business. So I
But
think
that
she's
also that could be to her benefit.
sure, sure.
Because Finn
So
seems to be enamored with her, so maybe Finn kind of comes out, maybe creates some distractions, does this or does that. Like, and I'm not saying enamored with her in a romantic way. I mean, he seems to
mhm.
see her as a
Mhm.
ward, as
Yeah.
somebody he can
Yep.
groom and come up and be like, "Oh, you gonna be great. You're gonna be like." That's what he seems. So I don't know. I think Roxanne Perez is super smart. Like
I
the way that
agree.
she's positioning herself in character is super smart. She always got somebody that's watching her back, whether it
She
be
always has
Cora
the
Jade.
dumb little smile on her face. Like, you know she's up to something.
Oh, she's definitely up to
If she's
something.
quiet for too long, problems. There are problems.
Most definitely. I'm a fan of her for sure. I'm a fan of
Absolutely.
what she does,
Mhm.
and I like the particular role that she plays. But we got to move on here because we got to talk about the last Money in the Bank match here, and then we got to slide out of here. Solo
Absolutely.
Sokoa, L.A. Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, El Grande Americano. This one's a ladder match for the men's Money in the Bank match. Who do you
Mhm.
got?
I'm gonna go with a wild card, and I'm gonna say El Grande Americano.
Ooh, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Only because I love the antics that would come along with it, and I really and that's one push I really want to see happen. But also, what would that mean for Chad Gable too? So
That's a good
I
question.
don't want to think about psychology. I'm gonna live in ignorance, and I'm gonna go with my selfish choice with El Grande Americano. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm fantasy booking.
I like it. I like it. All right, so this one I went back and forth with for a while because
Hmm.
logically, like the storytelling, my mind is telling me Seth Rollins all the way,
Hmm.
but I also can see that on this card,
Hmm.
there is no CM Punk on this card, so I could see CM Punk coming most
Coming
definitely
out
in
and
screwing Seth Rollins.
exactly,
I
and
don't know why. Don't ask me why.
that's why I don't think Seth Rollins is gonna win.
I understand that, but
Hmm.
if I'm not saying Seth Rollins, don't ask me why. But I just got this weird hunch that Andrade is gonna win it. I think Andrade might win this, shock everybody.
Hmm.
Nobody's thinking about Andrade.
Sure.
Nobody's thinking about him right now. But you know what he has done though? He's been patient. He's had his match series with Carmelo Hayes, then taken off of TV, then
Hmm.
maybe maybe enhance some talent here and there, taking off of TV, then maybe picking up some wins here and there, doing some backstage stuff. I think they want to do something with Andrade, and I feel like that they could really strap a rocket to him and really put some gas in his engine if he wins Money in the Bank. So I'm gonna say Andrade.
That is one I didn't really consider. Sure, I see it.
That's why it
I
would be
see the
good.
picture. That's why it makes sense.
Exactly. Exactly. So that is mine and Annie's predictions for Money in the Bank. This was a great episode, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to slide out of here. I got some running to do. Annie's doing her thing today, but I do want to give the floor to Annie and give her an opportunity to plug anything that she wants to plug, anywhere they can catch you at, or any podcast that you're doing or appearances. What's up, Annie?
Well, tomorrow I will be returning to the CCW Weekly Studio series. Doing that in New Baltimore, Michigan. This weekend, I'll be showing up at Zico's Freak Show in Ferndale. You might see a certain Agent of Chaos there. You never know where he's
Ooh,
popping up or what he's gonna be into. That's that. Let's see. Weekend after, you know what? We're just gonna live very close to in the moment, and I'm just gonna throw it back to you, Con.
that
What do you
is
got
all
going on?
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right here doing my thing in your house. We got a lot of great episodes. Tomorrow I'll be with Voice doing the ECW watch along, and then this Sunday we'll be talking the fallout from Money in the Bank. That'll be great. Also, I'm gonna ask the panel what do they think is the five most influential theme songs of the current day professional wrestling. What's some themes that come to mind for you guys out there in the household? Is it Cody's theme? Is it Seth Rollins' theme? Maybe you believe in Joe Hendry. We'll give our thoughts as far as what are some of the more influential songs in current day professional wrestling. That's this Sunday. But guys, we're gonna slide out of here because we gotta do our thing. We gotta roll out, give y'all what's what, and then let y'all know what we're doing because it's all part of the work. And that's HOWSC, and that W does stand for work. So for Divinely Designed Annie O'Neal and the whole team here at In Your House, my name is Alakan the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.